So ready to go for our opening race of 84 today. This is the first race, due off at 9 o'clock. Wairau of New Zealand on the Berkshire station, and the Buck station sitting patiently, Kingston Rowing Club. So, nerves jangling.
Attention!
I think it's more of an ordeal being in the first race of the regatta as well. It just adds to the pressure, and they're off and running, and this is the start of 84 races today between now and Sunday. Some of the world's best on this stretch of water. And we'll look at who gets the early initiative in this Thames Challenge Cup race. It's an important part of the races, perhaps more important, loaded on the start, isn't it? We'll talk about this throughout the next 5 days, but there's so much emphasis on getting off the pontoons cleanly, getting down that first stretch of water as cleanly as possible. Yeah,
because you need to generate as maximum boat speed as you can in order to make the transition into race pace efficient. If you don't quite get really good boat speed, then it's just hard work to row at the race pace you want. And here we can see the Wairau, the New Zealand crew, just slipping out to maybe half a length coming off the end of the island. Kingston Rowing Club. Both crews now should be getting to a point where they're going to start to try and find something sustainable for the next 5 or 6 minutes.
Very early stages of race 1 on the card, and this is Wairau of New Zealand dominating, as we'd anticipate, against the more local Kingston Rowing Club B in the Thames. And yeah, they've got half a length, and that's a pretty solid start from the New Zealanders.
Yeah, they've done a really clean, efficient job with that, and they're far more experienced as a crew compared to the Kingston Rowing Club B crew. They're guys who've been in the New Zealand crew, who've rowed internationally or been on the cusp of the international under 23 team, and they're just trying to meet up with some friends and have some social rowing, but in some good crews. So we kind of expect this crew to be quite proficient.
Yeah, this is the club rowers, this one. No student rowers allowed in the Thames. 8s, obviously. And it was first completed for in 1868, so it's one of the really historic trophies.
And it's the second or third oldest club event, I think. And these people all have jobs and family lives, and they train once or twice a day, every day for 6 or 8 months to try and come and compete here.
And to compete here is a fine effort. 660 entries, an increase of nearly 100 on the previous record set in 2018, last year. So more and more global interest in this event. 17 nations represented, 159 crews from different nations around the world.
Yeah, and here Wairau, you see it moving out probably to clear water there by the looks of it. They look like they're in quite control, and one length's quite a lot on an 8 already this early in the race. But like you're saying, it's amazing. On Friday we had the qualifying regatta where a lot of people didn't even manage to get into the regatta, and the atmosphere was astounding. So many people hanging around, it was amazing.
Nearly 2,000 athletes are through, competing over the next 5 days on the water. So unspectacular in terms of how New Zealand have gone about this. They're bossing it, aren't they? The Wairau boat in this opening heat are just making absolutely sure that they hold that length advantage.
They are, but the Kingston Rowing Club crew really are not letting them have the best of it, and they still have overlap there. And you'd have thought on the pedigree perhaps Wairau would have made easier work of this, but Kingston are fighting in really hard, keeping in contact and maybe even putting a little bit of pressure on them.
They have. They've had a burst, haven't they? And they've reduced that to now half a length. So on the right of your picture, you can see there Kingston Rowing Club reducing it to half a length. And this is an important stretch of the race, isn't it? If Kingston are going to cause an early upset here, they'll need to stay in contention for the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Wairau look a little bit over towards the middle. Maybe they're going to get some warning from the umpire. But no, really, Kingston now put some pressure on Wairau, coming up to the 3/4 mile post. Judy, what a great way to start the regatta with an overlap race so tight.
It's very interesting, this, isn't it? And Michael de Solavi, the cox for Wairau, who's got a big job here because they did just meander out into the middle of the water, and therefore are going the long way about this race. And you look at the way that
Kingston really coming back.
Yeah, putting a fantastic race together here, Kingston. This would be a very big upset.
It really will. I mean, I think on paper you'd have said it would have been the other way around, but that Kingston B crew really are moving through.
Well, Prue Seaward, the cox on the Buck station there, will be pretty ecstatic with how this race is panning out. There's a long way to go. You can see in the picture there, they've got to go all the way past the enclosures, and we'll see what Wairau have got left. There's a grimace on the face there of the Kingston boat at the stroke seat, Richard Sharrett.
They really are. I mean, the rhythm there is pretty good, and they really are being quite accurate with their blade work. And it doesn't look heavy at all. It looks really committed. This could be a really tight race.
It could well be. Well, it is already, isn't it? Opening up into be. We thought that Wairau had got it all settled down early on. It looked like a very controlled start from them, and it looked like they were sensibly going about their business at a length advantage. But it's good persistence from Kingston, who have just kept on niggling away.
And it proves that whole thing. You never have too much respect for your opposition. Never just pedigree, don't let it mean anything. This is great racing here. What a great way to start the day. A really tight race.
Yeah, you couldn't have set this up better, could you? You've got the hot shots from New Zealand being given a real run for their money from the local boat from Kingston. Kingston are still down. Probably only quarter of a length in it at the moment.
Yeah, you see who's got the legs, who's had to work too hard so far to get to this position.
So they're going to have to strain towards that finish line.
Well, Kingston really have, their club in the last 3 or 4 years has really been developing well. And even to the point now they've got 2 crews who are pre-qualified in this event. So they've been doing well through the regatta season locally. You see what they've got left in the last 400 metres down here on the course.
Well, 6.5 minutes of pain in the Thames. And we've got Wairau against Kingston, heading to the business end of the race now in front of the stewards enclosure. That's Wairau from New Zealand. I think they'd be pretty alarmed at what happened. They look good to hold on here, and they might just be stretching their lead a little bit in front of the stewards enclosure, but they've certainly been given much more of a test than they would have anticipated.
They really have been pushed hard here, and they've obviously kept their composure quite well and just seem to be moving slightly away from Kingston. Clear water now. So Kingston really brave and committed early into the race, but Wairau seemed to have more speed over the course.
Wairau held their nerve to win that one. Our opening race of the Henley Royal Regatta 2019, won by the New Zealanders Wairau. Clear water in the end, but lots of credit to Kingston Rowing Club, who made that a spectacle, a real test for Wairau. And they came through it unscathed. It might have taken a bit out of them for future rounds, but race 1 on the card in the Thames, Wairau beating Kingston by a length a little bit.